Hey, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Mingus, and it's time to look at all the Engage news that have dropped so far, and boy have they dropped a lot. It seems like every day they're putting out something, and I have to think they're going to run out of content at this point, because we still got 50 days to go until release, and I can't imagine they're going to continue with daily uploads for all that time. Anyway, I'm going to go back and start where we left off last time, and then we're going to work our way up the chain to the most recent piece of news, so you guys can have everything conveniently covered in one place. Let's begin! Out first today is the introduction of the character Anna, who once again makes an appearance as a playable unit. We already knew she'd appear based on the leaks we were shown a while ago, but this time around, instead of the 20-ish year old woman she normally appears as, this is a notably younger Anna in her early teens that seems to be more of a recruit type character. Her profile reads that she's a merchant traveling around the country in search of treasures that can be sold. So yeah, this is pretty much modern Fire Emblem's depiction of Anna in a nutshell. It appears that she joins pretty early on, as she's a level 7 axe fighter wielding a short axe. We're granted a clip of her attacking and killing this enemy soldier, and this clip is interesting because it shows Anna entering a defensive tile that grants her extra avoid and HP recovery, but also very importantly, it seems to negate break effects. This is very cool because it probably means that other defensive terrain like forts will also negate break effects. This makes me think that enemies can probably perform break attacks on your units, and thus stationing them on defensive terrain to avoid that effect will probably be the key to winning fights. I actually think this is a cool way of integrating terrain with in-game mechanics in a very clever way, and it makes me very hopeful for the gameplay section of Engage. We also get this short clip of Anna being very excited to see the Divine Dragon, stating that it's a great business opportunity for her. I actually have a bit of a rant I want to do regarding Anna and how she's portrayed in modern Fire Emblem, but I'll save that to the end of the video, as I'd like to focus on covering the news first. But if you want to hear my blazing hot take on Anna, definitely watch until the end of the video. Up next, we have some more information about how Marth's Emblem ring will work. His passive skill is called Perceptive, and it increases a character's avoid when they initiate an attack, akin to how the Duelist Blow skill introduced in Fates work, though we don't know how good it's going to be, if it's going to give 10, 20, 30, or even 40 extra avoid. Whenever a character engages with Marth, they also gain access to the Rapier weapon, which deals effective damage to mounted units and armor. Marth's unique emblem skill is called Godspeed, and it gives the character an additional attack, meaning that if you double attack normally, you can attack up to 3 times. And then finally, Marth's unique engaged combat art is called Star Rush, and this attacks rapidly in succession up to 7 times, or 9 times if it's wielded by a Divine Dragon. Marth's Emblem ring appears to be perfectly made for Alar, and I think it's going to be one of the first rings we unlock in the game itself. In fact, I speculate that the Emblem rings will be unlocked in order of the Fire Emblem games, meaning we'll get Marth, then Celica, then Sigurd, then Roy, then Lyn, and etc. Now, one thing I would like to point out in this clip is that we actually see Vander using the Emblem ring as an axe fighter. This means that reclassing is definitely making a return in Engage, though we were already able to guess that since it is a feature that has been prevalent in every modern Fire Emblem game since its inception in Shadow Dragon. Up next, we got some in-depth details on how Sigurd's Engage ring will work, and this one appears to be one of the more broken ones we've seen thus far. Sigurd's passive skill is called Canto, or Canter as some are calling it, and it does exactly what it's always done, allowing the character to use their leftover movement after attacking, just as broken as it was in Genealogy. Sigurd's unique weapon is the Rider's Bane, which does bonus damage to mounted units. Sigurd's Engage skill is called Gallop, and it grants the character a passive +5 bonus to their movement, or +7 if the character is mounted, which is absolutely insane. We also have a screenshot of a character named Goldmary having a bond support level of 20 with Sigurd, and that apparently shows that the Tearfang sword is available. So this will be very interesting to see once we get more information on it. I estimate it's going to grant crazy bonuses to resistance like it did in Fire Emblem 4. We also know that Sigurd's emblem combat art is called Overdrive, which allows the character to go through a bunch of enemies in a line, dealing damage to all of them. Up next, we got some more clarification on Celica's Emblem ring skills. We knew some of these from before, but they've elaborated a lot more on how exactly they will work. Emblem Celica excels at magic, which is why she's best paired with a magic user. Her passive skill is named Holy Stance, and it reflects a portion of the damage her character takes back at their attacker, and as this skill grows stronger, it will eventually reflect up to 50% of the total damage taken, akin to the counter and counter magic skills. Celica's emblem weapon is the spell Seraphim, which deals effective damage to monsters, similar to how it worked in Gaiden/Echoes. Celica's active emblem skill is called Echo, and it allows her to split her magic attacks into two, allowing her wielder to take out 2 enemies in one turn. When using the Echo skill, a character cannot move, so it must be used against enemies which are both in your range. Celica's emblem combat art is named Warp Ragnarok, and it allows her wielder to teleport up to 10 squares away and cast the spell Ragnarok, which deals heavy damage to a target. If used by a flyer unit, Warp Ragnarok will grant you an additional 5 points of warp movement, up to 15. Why they decided to do this, I have no idea. Up next, we have the full cinematic of the Corrupted Ones appearing in front of Alar, Vander, Cram, and Fram in the continent of Lithos. We've seen parts of this clip before, but now we have it in full. It shows Alar asking Vander if these monsters have always been around, and Vander answering that this is his first time seeing them. I very much think this is going to be the prologue of the game, with Vander and Alar fighting the Corrupted Ones cut off from the twins, and this will most likely be the map where Vander teaches you about basic combat mechanics. Considering Alar's lost their memory, it's a perfect opportunity for the Jagan-type character to instruct them in the basics. Up next, we got a brand new character profile reveal in Timerra. She's the princess of the freedom-loving kingdom of Solm and the older sister of Fogato. That's this playboy-looking guy right here. Timerra is an innocent and cheerful individual who gets along with everyone. She's also apparently fond of cooking and treating others to delicious meals. We also have some official art of this character, done in the same sideways style that we've seen all the other artwork in. A lot of people have praised this unique and distinctive art style, saying that it's a breath of fresh air, but me personally, I'm not a huge fan of it. I just think it looks kinda odd, and the sideways pose makes it harder to notice details about the character, though that may be the intention, who knows. As for Timerra, I think she has a really cute design, but as with most of the other Fire Emblem Engage characters, they just tack so much unnecessary crap onto her that distracts from her appearance and makes the whole presentation chaotic. The little multicolored balls she has hanging all over her body just looks weird to me, and I'm not a big fan of it. We also have a clip of Timerra attacking in what appears to be a battle taking place in this desert kingdom, and it seems like she is actually a lance wielder, not a body arts user like many of us predicted. Her animations are very over the top, but I still think they look very nice. Alongside Timerra's profile, we also have some tidbits on the kingdom of Solm. It's a desert nation in southeast Elios ruled by Queen Svoglia? I have no idea how to pronounce this, and she apparently values freedom. Yeah, that's pretty much the only gimmick we've seen about this nation so far. They like to be free and they're very open-minded. Not much else to say about them, really. I hope this kingdom gets expanded on more in the future, because at the moment I think they're the most boring nation shown to us thus far. We then have a profile reveal on the character Ivy, who appears to be the princess of Elusia. That's the kingdom with the evil fell dragon worshippers. Now, Ivy is this malignant Dommy mommy we've seen many times up until now, and looking at her now, I just have to ask, why is she wearing a barbecue grate on her forehead? Seriously, what the hell is up with this accessory? Anyway, it's obvious that Ivy starts off evil, but somehow she joins the players because we've seen many clips of her together with the protagonists, and it's obvious she becomes playable at some point. We also have official artwork of Ivy, once again done in this weird sideways pose, and I will admit, her official artwork makes her look better than she does in-game. I actually kinda like it, but once again, I think Engage just misses the mark with too many little details that clutter up the characters and make them appear chaotic and unorganized. Like someone in an MMO equipping 20 different accessories and trinkets on their characters just to stand out from the crowd. Ivy is clearly designed to be attractive, and yet something about her just misses the mark slightly for me. Next up, we get some information about another continent named Gradlon, which is a land in ruins. It's the home of the Fell Dragon who rose from the depths of the earth 1,000 years ago, and through the power of the Divine Dragon and the Emblem Rings, it currently lies sealed under the ground of Lithos. So basically this is the Vala nation of the game, a broken land that now lies desolate and empty. If the final battle against the Fell Dragon doesn't take place in Lithos like I first anticipated, I estimate that this is probably where we will go to do the final big boss battle of the game. Alright, so that's most of the important news covered so far, but I also have some very small tidbits that I'll just mention in passing. It appears that they're going to be recycling a lot more maps than we first anticipated. We see a screenshot of what appears to be the Black Temple map from Sacred Stones, the Sakai Gaiden chapter from Binding Blade, and the desert where we encounter Garneth in the Arcanea games. Anyway, so now that I've covered most of the news, I want to do my Anna rant. Now, if you are an Anna fanboy, you might be a bit taken back by what I'm about to say, but I ask you to please hear me out. Now, I really like Anna. She's essentially a Fire Emblem mascot character that's been present since the very first Fire Emblem game. Most of the time she's just been delegated to being a menu girl, but in some games she does appear in secret events and also in secret shops. Her iconic pose with her putting her finger in front of her lips indicates that she knows that we, the players, are playing the game, and that is our little secret. She's the only Fire Emblem character who is self-aware enough to break the fourth wall and address us, the players, directly, which kinda makes her a bit of a divine figure. Maybe she's even the goddess of the Fire Emblem universe. It's a popular theory, and it would explain why she's able to turn back time by saving and loading the game for the player. Then Awakening came in and decided to make Anna playable, and I don't necessarily hate this, but what I do hate is how they turned a very iconic and mysterious Fire Emblem character into a one-note gimmick. Ever since Awakening, Anna has shown up as a playable character in many modern titles, and in each one of them she's depicted as this incredibly annoying character that only cares about money. All of her interactions reference this, and she's just kinda transformed into this kooky merchant who delivers cringy one-liners and bad puns about slicing prices and profit margins. They even attempted to explain her many appearances by retconning this idiotic plotline that Anna has a bunch of identical twin sisters, and this is why we see her everywhere. My biggest pet peeve in storytelling is when people attempt to explain or rationalize characters which are best left unexplained. In The Witcher 3, there's this amazing character named Gaunter O'Dim, who is a very mysterious figure, and what makes him so great is that the game never once tries to explain to the player what exactly he is, and that gives the character an air of mystery around it that makes him incredibly intriguing. What I love about Anna in the traditional Fire Emblem games is that she's just this very mysterious character that appears everywhere, and I feel like modern Fire Emblem has taken this once great character and turned her into a one-note joke. Again, if you like Anna, there's nothing wrong with that. Her design is adorable, and I don't hate her being playable. I just hate what modern Fire Emblem has turned her into. Now, do you agree or disagree with me? Let me know in the comment section below. Anyway, that's all I have in this video. If there's anything I missed, as always, point it out in the comment section, and I'll include it in the next video. Leave a like and subscribe for more Engage news, and you can click the playlist in front of you to be caught up on all the news I've covered thus far. My name is Mengs, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye!